no, our Disney World trip, it's ruined. We asked you at home to completely ruin our Disney World trip. How dare you? So that way I could show you how to fix it. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Listen, I don't care who you are, but sometimes when you're on vacation in Disney World, things happen. Disaster can strike and there's nothing you can do about it. So we reached out to our amazing Instagram followers and readers from AllEars.net and asked us, what are your biggest Disney World disasters? We filled our entire day with them here at Epcot. And now we're gonna subject ourselves to it, so that way you know how to navigate it or avoid it altogether next time you're visiting Epcot. Let's go. First things first, we're gonna talk about something, maybe the #1 mistake that people potentially make in Epcot, and that's getting distracted by the big ball, Spaceship Earth, the golf ball. While Spaceship Earth may be the park's icon and it houses a fan favorite Disney attraction called Spaceship Earth, people often get distracted as it's the very first attraction you see when you're entering the park. I'm here relatively early in the morning and it's a 30-minute wait. That's a pretty high wait time for Spaceship Earth. Typically, you're gonna find that Spaceship Earth has roughly about a 10 to 15-minute wait later on in the day. In my opinion, the best time to ride Spaceship Earth, because it is not one to miss. You gotta thank the Venetians. You gotta get inside that park icon. It's either right in the middle of the day when the rest of the thrill rides are probably gonna be at their peak. When Test Track is a 75-minute wait and Soarin' is a 90-minute wait. Head to the front of the park and ride Spaceship Earth. My other favorite time to ride Spaceship Earth is one of the very last things I do. Just because as I'm exiting the park, it's a nice reminder, oh, this is a nice Epcot feeling. If Judi Dench is gonna be the last thing that I hear before I leave the park that day, then that's a win for me. Just to prove to you what I actually mean, that people who are coming in first thing in the morning, they get distracted by Spaceship Earth and it's the first thing that they do, which is obviously a mistake. I waited about an hour, got a snack, and immediately the Spaceship Earth went from 30 minutes to 10 minutes. So let's ride Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth is a slow-moving dark ride that basically goes through every historic event that you can think of. It goes off from the dawn of time to cavemen, all the way through to where we are today. And it's really how this spaceship that we call Earth continues to rotate, and how the world constantly evolves and changes and grows and progresses. It's a really cool theme, it's a really cool statement, and it's an icon here. It's a fan favorite. Lots of animatronics, lots of really cool storytelling. A couple years ago, they basically said that they were going to revamp this ride and update it, whether it be with projections or other audio animatronics. They didn't really have a lot of information at the time, which we were all pretty nervous about, because this is still a fan favorite. We love it a lot. I will say the video at the end could use a little bit of updating. Where am I?
You're off.
See what I mean? The ending could use some work, but still a fan favorite. I love it a lot. Kind of relaxing. I'll talk about why it's relaxing in a second. But the other thing, I just want to make sure, this isn't like a don't miss out on these things kind of video, but recently I had a chance to just kind of chill at Epcot. I didn't really want to ride a bunch of rides. I was doing a video about the top 40 things to never buy at Epcot, where I didn't really ride any rides. I was just kind of meandering about some of the exits of the ride, and some of these interactive play areas, like at the end of Test Track, at the end of Mission Space, at the end of the Spaceship Earth. It's actually quite fun. For example, this transportation. You think of the word transportation, and you're like, I don't know, buses. You actually drive this car around, and you become a secret agent, and you're trying to capture this bad guy, and you do a couple missions. It's a lot of fun. As well as this energy game. It's basically a game of projection shuffleboard, where you try and get energy cells to different locations to power up the city. It's, again, things I'm typically skipping because I'm trying to get to the next thing, but I spent 10 minutes, 15 minutes in here and just had a good time by myself. So yeah, if you're looking for something fun and interactive to do, that's in the AC, you don't even have to ride the ride, just come in the back door. It's great. Shaping the future together. Now we talked about Spaceship Earth and how rope dropping that attraction and getting distracted by that attraction is a bad idea. And that's not the only rope dropping bad idea people have. So here's another thing you guys said ruined your Epcot vacation. Now a little bit ago I did start a timer, and I'll tell you why in a second. There are a couple high demand attractions that people want to rope drop because they don't want to purchase Genie Plus, and that's fine. First, we'll get into some definitions. Rope dropping is basically park opening. Back in the day, cast members had a rope that they would hold. When it was time for the park to open, they would drop the rope, and people would cross over the rope, and that means the park would be open. That's rope dropping. Why is rope dropping important? Because earlier in the day, that's when you're gonna have the least amount of time to wait for those super popular attractions. But Epcot is pretty big, and some of the popular attractions are actually in the World Showcase, which is in the back of the park. Now your standard parking where I park today is gonna be all the way at the front of the park near Spaceship Earth. And that's typically where you're gonna park on a normal park day. However, there's a second entrance here in Epcot, and that is the International Gateway. The International Gateway is between UK and France. And the people who have access to the International Gateway are people who are staying at the boardwalk, anyone who has access to the Skyliner, so we're talking about Pop Century, Caribbean Beach Resort, Riviera, Art of Animation, as well as resorts near the boardwalk like Yacht and Beach Club, Swan and Dolphin. They all have access to the International Gateway, which is basically a back entrance into Epcot. Not even taking early entry into account, an early entry is where resort guests get into the park 30 minutes before normal park guests. Because a lot of people have access to the International Gateway, some of the rides back here aren't gonna be worth rope dropping. All right, my timer's still going. I just gotta get there. Passing so many countries, passing so many food, passing so many snacks and drink. Look, it's a stage, but it's closed up. Hashtag live entertainment is important, only when it's not being covered by a tent. Oh, cute, Mary Poppins. Very much sidetracked. Hey girl, hey. Spoonful of sugar. Why did I decide to walk all the way back here and time it? I could have just told you the tip. Why was this necessary? Just want to make sure you see it. That, right there, is the International Gateway. And that's the back door into Epcot. That's the baby. She's very helpful. I actually stayed at the boardwalk for my 21st birthday. And the entrance, the International Gateway, was very helpful.
Sage out.
All right, finally made it to France. And even the attraction we're going to is all the way in the back of France. If you haven't guessed it by now, it's Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a trackless, dark ride 3D adventure where you're shrunken down to the size of a rat and you're in Paris and you're trying to help Remy escape this kitchen. He's trying to make a feast for his family by stealing things from the kitchen, and things go awry. This is a copy and paste if you've ever ridden this in Disneyland Paris. If you've been to Disneyland Paris first before you've been to Disney World, it's the exact same attraction. It started in Paris and then they literally Control C and then Control V. I forgot how you do it on a MacBook. All right, I've officially made it to Ratatouille. So from the front of the park to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, depending on your wingspan, it's gonna take you about 10 to 15 minutes. It took me approximately 13. And I'm a 6'3" guy, I've got a pretty sizable leg span. For those of you already saying, well, Fry Bucket can do it in 5. Well, no, I've done the exact same pace with her slow your roll. Now imagine you are first in line and you're trying to rope drop Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. That leaves 15 minutes for people who are rope dropping the International Gateway, plus the people who are here for early entry to get in line. If you watch Quincy and I, we did an Instagram Decides Our Day video, and by the time we got back here, and this was during the summer, by the time we got back here, it was about a 90 to 100 minute wait time. Now, obviously, those times are gonna vary, but still, this is not a smart move, a smart rope dropping strategy. I'm currently here in, at the time of filming, it is mid-August, which is kind of a slower time, and it's pretty early, and it's already a 15-minute wait. And yes, we did ride some things this morning, but still, I would not wait 50 minutes for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. It's a great ride, it's a great family ride, but there are other things I would do that would be more worth your time that aren't Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So, if you're coming from the International Gateway, absolutely, rope Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. However, if you're rope dropping from the front of the park, choose a different attraction. My recommendation is to always rope drop something like Test Track. That's typically gonna have a 60 to 70 minute wait throughout the entire day, so get that one out of the way. But in case you decide to not rope drop that attraction, I've got another thing for you regarding Test Track. Oh, I gotta walk all the way back now? What? Okay, here we go. This is not a joke. It's only been maybe a little over an hour, and I've already broken down and getting a frozen Coke. Sometimes in the heat of the summer, the only thing to fix it is a frozen Coca-Cola. Stay thirsty, my friends. We have made it. This is Test Track, a high-speed thrill ride where you can design your own car and then test it out. And yes, there's even an outdoor portion where it's the fastest ride in Disney World at 64.9 miles an hour. Hear that? That's fast. Currently, the wait time is 60 minutes. But for anybody who really wants to ride Test Track, the line is too long, they didn't rope drop it, or maybe lightning lane ran out, there is a single rider line. Some things to know about single riders: that you will be split up from your party. So you can use single rider as a hack if you want to, you know, skip the line. But if you really want to ride with your family, know that you will have to split up. There's a smaller design station in the single rider line, so you can still get the full experience, which we'll do quickly. And just like that, that's my card. It's a much more abbreviated version than people in there are currently doing. Oh, we got a 200. That's not bad. A 200 actually isn't bad. I would imagine some of the pre-designed cars have pretty good stats just because they're all pre-designed for single riders. But don't forget, at the very end, once you've designed your car, you can come here and see how well your designs did against other designs that guests have done previously. Then you can come in here, create a full commercial for your car. Again, this goes back to what I was talking about regarding the exits of some of these, the interactive exits on some of these attractions. So now you can scan your car in, and then it creates a little 3D image of your car, and then you can race it. You can race it against other cars. Don't skip out on these interactive ride exits. Now, the top score of today is actually 229. So, what do you think? Can you beat it? 229? That's the top score. All right, while we're in World Discovery, let's just get this one over with. A lot of people ruin that. This was a big submission, specifically from AllEars.net. Check out that site where you can find as many tips and tricks and find out about ride closures and news. So AllEars.net, check it out. But this was the #1 submission from you guys. And it said, I ruined my vacation because I rode Mission Space Orange. Mission Space is a simulator attraction where Disney Imagineers actually work with NASA to replicate actually taking off in a rocket. At the time of filming, there is a little bit of construction, but don't forget, if you want to ride Mission Space, there are always 2 different sections. There's the orange section, which is really intense, extreme G-forces, make sure to read the labels, but then there's also the green side that is your less intense missions. It's more of a relaxing space ride over planet Earth. It's completely different. Now, how it works is you're actually being spun around really, really, really fast. That is actually pressing you up against the back of your seat, giving you the feeling that you are taking off into space. So we have Orange Mission, the more intense training, and green mission, the less intense training. Green it is. Trying to ruin my vacation. Don't make me sick. Earlier it was a 40-minute wait, and so I got a lightning lane for it because we've got a lot to cover today, and I didn't want to wait 40 minutes for mission space. And the fact that, and then I guess I walked up and he was confused that I wanted to use my lightning lane on the green mission.
Welcome back to Earth, and welcome to the astronaut port.
Before we keep talking about mission space, again, another fun, interactive ride exit. There's a whole playground called Space Base in here. There's a little video game called Expedition to Mars. And this whole area used to be like, there's now 4 of these, but there used to be like 16 of these. And it was a whole like game show competition. They've obviously made it a little less than, but you know, play with it a little bit. The whole goal, we had life support, communication, navigation, and propulsion. I'll do communication. You can see my little hand there. What you're supposed to do is grab your yellow gems, your corresponding gems, and put them to the thing, and we're put them to the corresponding yellow areas, and we're supposed to be working together to help bring the ship to a better place. See MC1, MC2, MC3 at the bottom. That's all these people over here. They're actually helping to grab, to send us these yellow and red and blue and green gems. This is ridiculous amounts of fun. I'm obsessed with this. Oh, it's happening again. Press the boost button over here. That's fun. Uh-oh. It's a race. Let's go. Mission control full of small people. All right, we're doing this. I didn't know I signed up for a game show, but now it's happening. Here we go. Okay, you ready? Let's do it. Boost. Yeah, we did it. Hey, good job. That was awesome. I really want the full AllEars team to do the space race. That was a lot of fun. Shout out to cast member Shayla for just like running the game for me and just having a good time. All right, I got super sidetracked. Back to mission space. Yes, the green side is way less intense than the orange side. However, just because it's less intense doesn't mean that it's still not intense. It is still very claustrophobic. Even on the green side, they still have those paper bags just in case. Anyway, before we leave World Discovery, I am in front of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And another thing that you guys said that ruined your vacation is you guys thought you could just show up and ride whatever you wanted. That is not the case, especially here with Cosmic Rewind, where the only way you can ride this ride is either by virtual queue or purchase an individual lightning lane. Genie Plus is your pay to skip the line offering that is through your My Disney Experience app. There are a couple different versions. There's the free Genie, which is basically just a suggestion itinerary. It says, you know, hey, maybe ride this attraction at this time. Maybe it'll be a lower weight, but nothing is really guaranteed. Then there's Genie Plus, which is going to be your most standard thing you're going to see, where you can pay to skip the lines for most attractions. Now the fee is date-based, but unfortunately you won't be able to know the fee until the day of. But depending on how high the fee is, that might determine how busy that day is. For example, the higher the fee, the more busy it's probably going to be. We've seen it go for anywhere from $15 to $35 a day. And finally, there's individual lightning lane, which is an additional fee where you can pay to ride the most popular attractions. Magic Kingdom, that's going to be Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Hollywood Studios is going to be Rise the Resistance. Animal Kingdom, it's going to be Flight of Passage. And here at EPCOT, it's going to be Cosmic Rewind. So purchasing your individual lightning lane, that's one way you can ride Cosmic Rewind. But there is another way you can ride Cosmic Rewind, because you can't just hop in a line. You actually have to sign up for the virtual queue. Now the virtual queue happens 2 times a day, once at 7 a.m. That's the first time you can sign up for it. Again, this is all through your My Disney Experience app. Once you sign up for it, it'll give you a boarding group and a boarding time. Just because you've signed up for the virtual queue on your My Disney Experience app doesn't mean it's going to be any shorter of a wait than any other attraction is in the park. It's just still just a virtual queue. which means once you hop in line, you still could be waiting anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes to ride the attraction. Doesn't mean you're skipping the line, just means you had to sign up for a time to get into the queue to wait in the actual queue. So you have 2 times that you can sign up for the virtual queue, but once the virtual queue is out for the day, once all the boarding groups are taken, then it's gone. Then you can't ride it anymore. So again, individual lightning lane or virtual queue if you want to ride Cosmic Rewind, which is, I think, one of the best attractions in the park. Maybe in all of Disney World. Now, when Tron was going to open, the newest coaster attraction here at Disney World, we really thought the virtual queue is going away for Cosmic Rewind. It's just going to be for Tron now. Nope, they in fact now have 2 virtual queues, Tron and Magic Kingdom and Cosmic Rewind here at EPCOT. So remember, you can't just show up anymore. You got a plan. You got to get on that app. That app is your best friend. And me, I'm also your best friend. Hi, best friend. Still got a couple more vacation ruiners here at the front of the park. But I'm jumping ahead a little bit on my list of things, things that ruin our vacation, because, well, I need it. I need it in my life. This one comes with a story because it actually comes from an Instagram follower on AllEars.net, Kierna L93. She says that over the course of her entire Disney trip, which was approximately 7 days, and a family of 3, she spent almost $200 on water bottles. You don't need to do that. Please don't do that. That's why I brought you to Sunshine Seasons. There are a bajillion quick service places that you can get free water, but this is one of my favorite places here at EPCOT. 1, because it's the land, and I love the land. But 2, it's these fountain soda stations. Now, these fountain soda stations, the cast members here say it's okay. You can either grab a small cup or a tall cup. You can grab some ice and you fill it up with water. This is going to be your little water button. So I'm going to do that now. So please, if you're going to spend your money, 1, don't buy Dasani, but 2, use the free water. It's there. It's available to you. Go up to any quick service window. A lot of times, what they've started doing now is because they don't want to make the quick service window bombarded by people who need water. They actually have big water coolers that are near the quick service location. If you can't get at the mobile order window, though, they probably have it at a water cooler near the mobile order window. Or go to a fountain soda. All right, getting out of the land, and I think it's time to head to the World Showcase because this is a big one. This was the most submitted response. The thing that ruined your vacation at EPCOT was drunk people acting a fool. And I get it, that can be really frustrating. Trying to enjoy some time with your family or by yourself or whatever, and you're interrupted by rude people who are highly intoxicated. Which is why I'd like to invite you to the World Showcase for a safety spiel. Also, as someone in the entertainment business, there's construction happening here at the Communicore Hall, Communicore Plaza. Do you see that? Why is the lighting up before the rest of the building? What was the need to put full movers? That's the name of the light. Why would you put movers? Yeah. Before the rest of the building is that doesn't make quite sense. Because what if that lighting gets damaged? I don't know. Not my money. The World Showcase is made up of 11 different countries and then some. And each country really dives into each culture within the food and the drink, and highlighting on the food and the drink, as well as the architecture, some of the merch, and a lot more. Kind of a fan culture thing that came about is while you're going around the world is potentially drinking around the world, trying a different drink from every country, and it's just like a fun gauntlet for people to do. However, that comes with some safety concerns and things that people aren't thrilled about. Some people overdo it. And while the people that overdo it are typically the minority, because I do enjoy having a cocktail around the world, and for that you can watch where Emma, Quincy, and I kind of drank around the world. And Emma, during the video, she actually did non-alcoholic around the world. Lots of fun, but it's important to talk about the safety of drinking around the world if you're going to do it. And really, that's just drinking in general. First things first, if you're gonna drink around the world, always remember to eat snacks, because that's the only way you're gonna absorb some of that alcohol that's going through your body. Also, drink water. Never drink and drive. If you are planning to drink around the world, Uber. Use the free public Disney transportation. Anytime we drink here at Epcot for an AllEars video or anything like that, or drink anywhere at Disney World, we never are driving. And finally, last and certainly way not least, remember, it's Disney World. Be respectful. Don't be a fool. Don't be a jerk. It's Disney World. You don't get trespassed. There is a potential, if you're acting a fool, if you cross the line, cast members they can take action on that. So please, I'm begging you, be smart, be safe, but have fun. I was asked to mention if I'm going to drink around the world, where am I going to do that? Or I guess mention one of your favorite spots. I always love to come here to Mexico. I love to go to La Cava del Tequila to get either a margarita or to try different kinds of tequila in shot form. Not because I want to drink a bunch of shots, because I'm very intrigued by how tequila is made, how the different tequila brands taste, you know, the difference between Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo, all that kind of stuff. La Cava del Tequila is the signature tequila bar here in the Mexico Pavilion. Obviously, their specialty is tequila, but it is a full bar in case you are just with your friends and they want tequila and you don't. My other favorite thing about La Cava del Tequila is the bartenders are in there. They're awesome. They're always super friendly, and if it's not busy, if they're not overwhelmed with people, they do like to, you know, have a conversation, and that's why it wasn't busy. And I said, hey, what's your favorite tequila within this price range? And he's like, oh, this is the one. I know I already mentioned this video, but I recently just did a video where I did, I showed you the worst and weirdest top 40 things here in Epcot. And one of them was actually the tequila flight. I'll just give you a short preview. This one shot of tequila is equal to the 3 shots of tequila they put on the flight. And the tequila flight is $10 more expensive. Save your money, kids. Save your money. This life preserve was very smooth. But that's why I like Reposados, because it has a little bit of a burn to let you know, hey, you're drinking alcohol, but also it doesn't hurt going all the way down, which is always a preference for me. So thank you for the amazing recommendation. That was awesome. So that's why I love Mexico. I just left, and I still have more to do in Mexico. Going back. This next ruined my vacation, wound up on my list. I don't know who put it there. I have a good feeling it was Quincy. It doesn't say if it's from Instagram or if it's from AllEars.net. It just says, don't ruin your vacation by not riding a boat. So we're gonna do that, because we don't want to ruin our vacation. So there are actually quite a few boats in Epcot. And a lot of them are kind of our favorite attractions. Because we're so close to Mexico, I feel like this is the one that we'll ride, but we can talk about the other boats here in Epcot that apparently you shouldn't miss, because if you do miss it, it might ruin your vacation. Wait a minute, am I on this boat by myself right now? I am. On the Grand Fiesta Tour, you are actually on your way to Mexico City for a big concert and celebration starring the 3 Caballeros, but no one can find Donald. He's gone missing. He's doing his own thing in Mexico, just having a grand old time, and poor Panchito and Jose, I don't know where he is at all. Luckily, well, I don't want to spoil it, but everything works out just fine. So Grand Fiesta Tour is great, but there are so many other boat rides that apparently Quincy needs me to mention to you so you don't ruin your boatless vacation. Over in the Land Pavilion, there is Living with the Land, and that's a boat ride through one of EPCOT's really amazing greenhouses. Some of the vegetables and fruits and herbs that you are actually seeing on Living with the Land, they are actually using here on Disney World property. They're using what's actually being grown in Living with the Land, so that's kind of cool. Of course, there's Frozen Ever After in Norway. Frozen Ever After is definitely a high demand attraction. People love it. Frozen Ever After is a slow moving boat ride, dark ride attraction that actually takes place right after the movie ends. So Elsa is welcoming everybody to her ice palace. Anna, Olaf, Kristoff, Sven, they're all being, you included, they're all being welcomed to her ice palace for the very first time. And when you get there, she immediately sends you away. That's not the premise of the ride, but that's what it feels like. And finally, there's actually the boat that takes you around World Showcase. And when I say takes you around World Showcase, it takes you from Morocco back to the front of World Showcase. Morocco, other than America, is probably one of the furthest all the way in the back of World Showcase. So in case you're like, my body, I can't do it, there's a great boat that will basically shuttle you. It's basically free transportation that will shuttle you from either from the front of World Showcase to the back or vice versa. So in case if you're that person who needs your vacation to include boats, don't ruin your vacation by not doing a boat ride. Thanks for the suggestion, Quincy. It's gotta be you. I feel like it was you. As we continue to head further into the World Showcase, a lot of you were pretty upset. This is on AllEars.net. A lot of you were pretty upset that you rushed through World Showcase, that you just only went to the food booths, or that you were just going to the concert series all the way in America, or that you just kind of wanted to do a full circle because you had to make it back for your Cosmic Rewind boarding group. Well, next time you're at World Showcase, I wholeheartedly recommend you truly exploring these countries. Yes, the drinks and the snacks in each country, they're amazing. The caramel popcorn, absolutely. The grapefruit beer, go for it. But the further you look into each country, the more you're gonna find different architecture, different exhibits, maybe a hidden attraction that you missed. Maybe there's a movie that you didn't know that they had. Oh, Spain, what do they have? I wanna look. Oh, paella, wow. See that right there? That's what I'm talking about. I was so hot, and I was like, I have to go inside somewhere, and I went into the American Pavilion, which again, going inside somewhere, going deeper into these pavilions, and of course, the Voices of Liberty are singing their butts off, and I truly mean singing their butts off. I don't think I've ever heard that Impossible Dream arrangement before, but Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha, and I did tear up a bit. I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. Stop making me feel things. But that's why it's always important to really explore these pavilions. But I'm gonna go and explore one of my favorite pavilions. And of course, if you follow the channel, this is one of our favorite pavilions just because it's very deep and there's a lot you can do and a lot of weird fun things you can do here. But I'm gonna go right next door to the American Pavilion and go to the Japan Pavilion because this is one that you cannot skip. You're not ruining your vacation if you skip it, but it really adds to World Showcase. Really going in these countries and exploring everything that you can. Here we are in the Japan Pavilion, and I'm going to take you just take you further into the Japan Pavilion just to show you one of the 11 countries that you can explore. Not only is there Mutsukoshi, the department store, but there are also these beautiful Japanese gardens. It's koi ponds, it's beautiful architecture, there's great seating all the way in the back here. It's shaded. Now trust me, I realize there's a lot to do when you're visiting Disney World, but just taking a couple seconds and just walking through it. I'm not saying you've got to eat at every restaurant or buy something from every pavilion or even see every movie or do every attraction in every pavilion. I'm just saying, it really adds to the World Showcase to just look around and go, wow, look at all the, I kind of feel, you know, immersed. Immersive is such a buzzword right now that everybody uses it and everybody overuses it. But that's what Disney really tries to do, is they try to immerse you into this world through architecture, sounds, scent. That's another thing to not forget, is that all of the pavilions will have something for your young ones too. They've got KidCot, and so exploring each pavilion and finding the KidCot, which is where your kids can collect postcards from each country and have a little drawing and do a little activity. It's something where you're gathering drinks from around the world, they're gathering postcards. There are things that unless you explored this pavilion, you'd never be able to do. Like, you know, like... Yeah! Yay! Like that, for example, where you basically choose a clam and then they open it in front of you and you get a pearl. So you're basically picking your pearl and they do a little show with it. There's also a cellulite massager here that I found the other day, which, I mean, who doesn't want that? All this being said, explore. Go nuts. Because adventure's out there. Before I get too far from America, it just occurred to me, and this isn't necessarily going to ruin your vacation, but I would just hate for you to wait in super crazy long lines when you don't need to. And honestly, time wasting is part of ruining your vacation. But during the festivals, such as Food and Wine Festival, Flower and Garden Festival, Festival of the Arts, as well as Festival of the Holidays, there is a huge stage here in the American Pavilion. It's called the American Garden Stage, and that's where they do the concert series, whether it's the Broadway concert series during the Festival of the Arts, or it's the band concert series during Food and Wine and Flower and Garden, or the Candlelight Processional during the Festival of the Holidays. Now this tip is really for the bigger artists coming to the American Garden Theater for the concert series, like Boys to Men, you know, things like that, or the Candlelight Processional, which always has a line all around the world just to get in. But a way you can avoid that line is by doing a dining package that is paired with the concert series. So basically, if you have a dining package, it'll be paired with one of the restaurants that's around the world, and then it'll get you priority seating to whatever the concert is that's happening that night. And again, you know what concert you're going to. It could be a local band concert. I don't know, maybe Sound Up Band, October 24th, 25th, 26th. I don't know. Or it could be Joey Fatone and Friends from NSYNC. Yeah, I don't know. But if you pair it with a dining package, you'll get priority seating. The cheapest one is actually here at Regal Eagle Smokehouse. As we slowly make our way around World Showcase and out of World Showcase, this submission also comes from Chelsea over on Instagram, and they said, not taking advantage of the food booths and sticking to purely Disney food. And I assume what they mean by Disney food is the popcorn and the churros and French fries and things like of that nature. As we were just talking about with the concert series and all the different festivals, typically there is some sort of festival happening here at EPCOT. Don't get me wrong, there are still a couple weeks out of the year that festivals aren't happening, and it's kind of weird. There's always a festival. We call that transition time. But 9 times out of 10, there is a festival happening. Yes, each one has its own food situation. This isn't going to be your food that you find at your everyday theme park, because it is, you know, going around the world. You're going to find different snacks and meals inspired by whatever country you're in. And 9 times out of 10, they're pretty solid. Well, I'll say 8 times out of 10. They're pretty solid. And when you have these really potentially incredible snacks and drinks that are sometimes shareable, or that you can just get like little pieces here and there and maybe try something from every place around the world, it would be a huge shame to fill up on popcorn and churros and not be able to get like a gorgeous chorizo empanada in the Mexico Pavilion, you know, or crisp duck bao bun in Japan. You know, like it's those kind of things. that are pretty solid. I'm gonna grab something. At the time of filming, it is currently the Food and Wine Festival 2023. I'm gonna grab something from a booth. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we'll try it, we'll review it, to show you that, hey, there are better things out there that aren't popcorn, right? So here we go. This might be a little weird, but the refreshment port has been recommended to me 4 times because I'm a huge Boursin cheese person. Weird, I'm aware, but I'm obsessed. So we're gonna get some poutine. All right, so I went with the braised beef poutine, which is French fries with braised beef, Boursin garlic, and fine herb cheese sauce. Ugh, so good. Cheese curds, crumbled Boursin garlic and fine herbs, and gherkin relish. Now I know I said there are better things to get at Disney World than fries, but when you put all this stuff on fries, it's hard for me to pass up. That might be one of the most flavor explosion things I've ever had here at Epcot. I'll be honest, it's a lot of garlic. I love garlic. The cheese curds, I wish were smaller. They're just huge cheese curds, and they're kind of cold. The thing that makes it for me is the garlic and herb Boursin cheese sauce. It has just a layer of flavor that is almost unbeatable. You can find fun and interesting things here at World Showcase. Avoid popcorn unless you really want it. Unless you're really in the mood for it, that's fine. But don't ruin your vacation and pass this up. Don't do it. As we head out today, a big submission from lots of people on Instagram was a thing that ruined my vacation was the fact that I didn't do my research. So the fact that you're already here watching AllEars.net, watching the video, already means that you are doing your research. For already being here and watching the video, I am going to make sure you know about a super secret meet and greet here at Epcot that almost always has 0 lines. Right next to Journey into Imagination with Figment is the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, where you can watch 3 different short films. What's interesting about this is that it is the theater where they used to play Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. But as you're waiting for the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, come over here, hang out, and look, there's a very, very small line, but Mickey Mouse is here. And you know, typically the wait for Mickey Mouse at Magic Kingdom could be anywhere from 20 to 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes I've seen it get to 60. This, I would say, is probably, if I could guess, I would say a 15-minute wait, which is not bad to meet Mickey Mouse. Plus, you are indoors, you're in the AC, you're waiting, and he's in his classic, like, Mickey Mouse tux. So now you know. Kind of a hidden meet and greet that not a lot of people know about. Like I said, because you're already here watching AllEars.net videos, you're doing the research, so what could go wrong? Thunder crash, lightning strike. Thanks for following along. I hope you learned something today. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Bye.